Hello there folks, my name is Great Mighty Poe, and welcome to episode 1 of my series DS3 Modding Basics of the Basics. So, since this is the first episode, I'm going to kind of explain what this is. So, I had a friend reach out to me who really wants to get into modding a little bit more than he does. But unfortunately, there's not many video tutorials online on actually how to do certain things with modding Dark Souls. There's a lot of written tutorials that are just absolutely horrible to try and read through if you're not someone that can sit there and read an entire text document. It's, not particularly fun. Videos are a bit more interesting. So, the particular areas of interest for them were VFX and moveset stuff, so I'll get into them in later episodes, because this one is just the bare basics to get you just started. I'm assuming you're starting from a completely fresh Dark Souls 3 install. You've got no mods installed, no nothing. The way I got started is just by messing around with cinders and a few modding tools. So, that's a good way to actually get started. Is download an overhaul like cinders, as I mentioned, or convergence, or ashes, or something like that. Download some modding tools like Yapt or Yabber, stuff like that. Map Studio. Just going off the cuff here. And just messing around with the files there, and seeing what you can get done. That's the best way to get started, is just messing around with stuff like that. And asking for help on server name also helps as well. But, I want to get into the absolute bare minimum today, which is UXM and Yabber. So, we're going to start with UXM. So, UXM is found on the Sekiro Nexus page. So, it's the Sekiro Nexus page, but it is also for DS3. It is also for DS2, fun fact. So, you can unpack DS2, DS3 and Sekiro. So it's a really useful tool to have. Just go File, Manual Download, and Slow Download, as always. And that is going to get you, if I can navigate to here, that's going to get you this. So UXM, and you get this. So where do you want to put this? It's entirely up to you, but I do recommend creating a folder somewhere with all your modding tools kept together, because you're going to need a lot of them constantly, so having them all together is a good idea. So I'm going to go onto my D drive, going to create a new folder, going to call this modding tools. Already have one here, DS3 programs, so that's where I have all my stuff currently, but to transfer the tutorial, so modding tools, drag and drop into here. You don't know how to extract stuff with 7zip or WinRAR or anything like that, then might not be the tutorial for you. You clearly might need to go learn some more basics of computing before you get started. Modding can get pretty complicated, so but that's UXM. So UXM, what do we get? We have this with a bunch of different stuff in here. So I think the Sekiro one here is out of date, and you might need to download one from server name if you're doing Sekiro, but for Dark Souls 3 it's completely up to date. So what these are, essentially, when it extracts, it'll know what each thing is and put it all in the right folder. Otherwise it goes into a folder where it doesn't know. It's like, hey, I don't know what this is. And I'll put in a folder going, this is unknown. So no need to run UXM. And it's going to default to this path here. This path, just ignore that. So you need to direct it to your exe. So you need to know what your exe is. So mine is already here. Because I have mine pinned over to the side here, so, because I'm constantly going to Dark Souls 3 game folder. But it's where your Dark Souls 3 exe is, which typically C, game, Steam, X, common, Dark Souls 3 game. Select the exe, open that. We have a few options here. The one we're going to click now is Unpack. And we can actually take a look at this while it's doing things. So I have my game folder here. And you can see folders popping up out of nowhere. So I'm actually going to maximize that so we can see it a bit better. And you can see files coming up out of nowhere. So what it's doing is unpacking these files here. So you would have had a nice empty game folder before. Now it's going to be all of a sudden starting to fill up with stuff. So I'm actually going to pause. And when it gets down to, I think, about DLC 2, I'll unpause and we'll continue with the tutorial. Right, we are back. It's just started on DLC 2, which is the final one for us to do. So, sit here and talk about what's going on. Well, what's going on is unpacking those files as I did before, so it just does its thing. It's pretty slow about it, so you can see how long it's taken by what time was when I paused, but time when I unpaused. So Oh, just sitting here doing nothing. I can't do anything while it's recording. So, been a very boring few minutes here, but oh well. Felt like an eternity. But you get used to it with modding, and things take a bit of time to get right. You only need to do this once though, so that's not all that bad. Well, hopefully do it once, if you make backups, which I'll get into shortly. Come on. Last 5 files, come on. Hey, unpacking complete. So the unpacking's complete. And that was the unpack option. So what are these other options? Well, I'm not too sure what explore is. I have no clue actually. Patch. So, before the days of Mod Engine, how mods used to work is they'd be saying just like this. So we have those files here. They'd be saying just like this. And let's put patch the DS3 exe to load these loose folders instead of these. So, that's what that did. Now we use Mod Engine. It's much better, much more efficient, much more clean about it. So, yay. We'll set up restore. Click this and it will delete all of these. So it goes back to a nice clean install. Gets rid of all your mod folders there. Well, all the ones UXM extracted. Anything you've put there will leave alone. So just to put everything back in its place. So that's what that is. And that's UXM done. So now we have a whole bunch of stuff here. So we have action, which is all sorts of scripts for all different characters in the game, including C00, which is a character. This one here is very important for movesets. Ad hoc, I think that was, I think it was already there. I think it's just font, I'm not too sure. Character, CHR, another very important one. This contains all the character files. So you got, let's scroll back up. Let's start from, I don't know, you look at C1100. So 1100 here you have Anna BND. There's your animation bin, that's where the animations are stored. The behavior bin, so BEH BND, that's behaviors. The CAR BND, that's the character BND. So that I think just contains stuff like the skeleton. I think I can't quite remember. That's an important one. I know that much. And the texture BND, which is your textures. So how the things look. I think. I remember character BND. This one here is your model. This is where the flavor is. This is where the textures are for the actual flavor. So, yeah. And that's the CHR folder, mostly. Mostly, I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Like, you got this here, C00, once again, that's all player stuff. So, you can see the player has a lot more than everything else. But there is a lot of stuff in here. So, yeah. Event. So, this is all the events of the game. This is all EMVD. This is all very complicated, and I probably won't ever get into this, because EMVD is like, I don't understand. Unfortunately, something I really want to learn, but it's really complicated. But it is how the game handles events, and it's really, really powerful once you figure it out. Face gen, this is just how you would face generate. I don't think you can actually edit that quite yet. I'm not too sure. Font, once again, it's just font. Map, this is also very important. So you can see all the map files here. So we've got M30, which is Hyrule, M30-01. Had a mind blank for a second there, I couldn't read. That's Lothric Castle. M31 is Undead Settlement. M32 is Archdragon. M33 is Road of Sacrifices and Farron. Fairly sure. M3401 is Grand Archives. M35, I'm fairly sure is Cathedral of the Deep. M37, I'm fairly sure that's Catacombs of Smoldering Lake, I think. M38, I think, is Earthil and Enolondo. M39, I think that's Earthil Dungeon and the Profaned Capital. M40 is Firelink Shrine, Cemetery of Ash, Untainted Graves, all that stuff. M41, I'm fairly sure is the Kiln. M45 is Oriandel. M46 and M47, I think, are multiplayer maps. M50 is the Dreadkeep. M51 is the Ringed City. And M51_01 is Gale's Arena. And then M53 and M54, those are the multiplayer arenas again. So, yeah. Inside these ones here, these are TPFs, so this is all textures. And Then this one here, this is NVA is nav mesh, can't do anything with that. These ones up here, I'm fairly sure are collision. And these here, these contain like all your map pieces. So all the flyers are all the map pieces, they're all in these. So yeah, pretty useful stuff in there. Actually there's some other stuff here that's not in these ones, I think. Let's go up to M30, I know there's stuff here. Yeah, I think, yeah, the BTLs, these are lights, I'm fairly sure. So all this here is lights. So there's a lot in the map files. Down here in Map Studio, there's all the map MSB. So this is where all the, like the data is, like where enemies are placed and stuff like that. So these are all very important, and you'll be editing them a lot if you're using Map Studio. So that is map menu. Oh boy, this one is important. So you can see this has a lot. So this is all the menus in the game, the icons, the titles, all that stuff. It's all very important inside this one. This is all icons, so all the big icons you see on items. It's all these. Every single item. It's a lot of them. What's there? Trying to find the one here. 01 common. This one's where all the icons are stored, all the small icons. So you got knowledge, big icons. This one has the icon sheets with small icons in there. 02 title is where the actual title screen is. Yeah. Just a lot here. A lot of these are .gfx, so these are GFX files. A format that's not really easily understood to edit well. I think I've worded that right. I think you can edit them, but it's really complicated, and only a few people in the community know how to do that, so it's not something I'll be getting into, but yeah. They're very important. And for some reason there are two menu files sitting down here that are knowledge ones sitting down here for some reason. No clue about that one. Movie? Fairly sure this is just the, opening cutscene and the ending cutscene, and that's it. Message. This is an important one, so in here, in English, is these. These are literally every single bit of text in the game. So, subtitles, item descriptions, some parts of menus, a lot of stuff. There's a lot in here. So it's definitely one you're going to need to know if you're getting into modding. MTD, this is materials. So I know nothing about modeling, but this is the materials that models use. Not something I know about, unfortunately, because it's not something I've really dived into all that much. OBJ, this is your objects. So this one here, I know this one off by heart. This 000200 is your chest model. So if they're not map specific, they'll be in here. So these are all non-map map specific objects. So these are all objects that can appear in any map at all. No muss, no fuss. But if they're an object that only appears in a specific map, then they're in here. I went back too far. Whoops. Other. So this has some important stuff here, like in the statistics TPF, this is like your damage texture for your damaged armors. There's blood textures in here, ember textures also in here, like just a bunch of common textures that are used on pretty much everything. So yeah, very important ones in there. Param, very important. This is your params, this is all lighting. So yeah. If you're into lighting, you're gonna have to learn this folder. I don't know what the different. I know I've edited these ones here before. These ones up here, but I don't know what these ones are. I don't know what these are. I don't. Next one is another very important one. This is parts folder. This is all parts B&D files. So this is AMF 1210. So this is ARM. So your gauntlets, F, it's female, and that's the ID, 1210, and there you go. And you got M for male, keep scrolling down, BD is body, FC is face, common, so this is what your body looks like when you're completely nude. Well, not completely nude, you still got the underwear, so that's where the underwear textures are if you want to look for them. FG, I can't remember what FG is. I know HD is head. Keep scrolling down. There's a lot in here. HR is here. Oh, I think FG could be tattoos, actually, thinking about it now. I think that's in here. LG is legs. And down here to WP, these are weapons. And you can notice with these, they have an _L version. So the _L version is a low poly version. It's used for phantoms, NPCs, your character on the save screen, stuff like that. So, yeah. Whole bunch of parts files in here, though. Which is why the Cinder's models download is so huge, because it has a lot of these. Remo, no idea, if I'm being honest, not what I've messed with. Script. So this is AI. And talk ESD. So ESD isn't something I can really get into. Much like EMVD or EMEVD, it's something I haven't messed with. But this is sort of like menu control. So come across the actual text for menus. This is how to control the menus. So yeah, once again divided by map. And yeah, these here, these Lua BND files, these are all AI. So inside, say M30, this one here, you'll find the AI for stuff like a holo or something. But you also have the AI common, which is just AI that's loaded for that can be used in any map. So if you're putting an enemy in a map and it's not working, it's probably because the AI hasn't been put into the common. So random information there. SFX. Oh boy, this one. This one. This is one I'm very familiar with. Yeah. So, common effects. So, once again, the common thing. So, normally, like you have here, like M40, this here, these VFX and here are only loaded in M40, not in any other map. So, you need to transfer them from here into common effects and also from up here. But if you're dealing with VFX editing, you're gonna get to know this. Most of the time, you're only gonna need these ones up here. But we'll get to VFX editing at another day. Shading. I don't know if we can mess with them yet. I've never seen anyone mention them, so I don't know. Sound is sound. It's fairly straightforward. I have a program installed so I can listen to any of these I want to at the moment, but there's a lot in here. There's an absolute lot. I'm not sure what XM is. I think VM is voices, SM is music. I think RM I can't remember. These ones here are all map specific. These ones for the C's or character specific. So a lot of music in here. A lot of sounds. Test. Oh, that's my mod. I've left that one in there for so long. Holy shit. Okay, that's not meant to be there. I forgot about that one. Test data. I don't know what this is. Yeah, I don't know what this is. So that is UXM. Finally all explained. We're going for 18 minutes just explaining what each of the different folders are. Right. So we have all those files, but they're all just files. How do we actually get in to edit them? Well, we need to unpack the individual files. So UXM was the big boy. Unpacking all the stuff down here to get us these files, but how do we progress from here? Well, we're going to need Yabber. So, Yabber, which I clearly clicked over this when I was doing nothing, well, that was doing data 5 for 15 hours, is an unpacker repacker for common, Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1-3, Bloodborne, and Sekiro file formats. Yeah, it works on certain things for Demon Souls and Bloodborne, but there are certain things you need a specific tool for. Namely TPFs. I think they are not supported by Yabber. There's a specific file you need to go. You just search for, I think, Hawk build on server name and you'll find it. But this unpacks.bnd, bhd and bdt.dx, whatever this one is, I think this is DS2, FMG, G4M, Lua info, and TPF. So it supports a lot of files and it's also unpacking. So you click over to here, and then you click here. And then I'll get you that. And we don't actually download that because I've already downloaded it. And I can go back to tutorial, go up Yabber. And we can head over to here, where we put UXM into modding tools. And, oh boy, overlapping. There we go. And we can drag and drop that into here. And that gets us Yabber. So we can close that now. We can minimize that, and we can minimize that. So, Yabber. What do we got in here? We have a few things. So we have Yabber context.exe, Yabber.dcx.exe, and Yabber.exe. These two, up here, I don't know what they do. I've never had to use them. The only one I ever use is Yabber.exe. So what you're going to do is drag right click it, don't drag left click it, and just put it there and create a shortcut on your desktop. Trust me, you need a shortcut on your desktop for Yabber. I've already got one up here. I've got a few tools up here that I use constantly, so yeah, I can actually get rid of that because we can use the one I've already got there. But yeah, that just creates a shortcut to it so you can use it nice and quickly, because we're just going to use nice quickly. So I don't know. Let's unpack, I don't know, a character file. What do we got? What's one I know? Oh yeah, C1400, I think. Yeah, let's unpack the character BND for that. So unpack that with Yabber, just drag and drop it onto there. And we get this. And we go into here. And we got a flyver. Hey, yeah, there she is. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm using another program to take a look at this. I'll get into that program at another date. That is the flyver editor. But yeah. So that's unpacked it. So now I'll just pretend we did some editing to this. I don't know. Can't actually edit anything in here except for flyver. I guess I could edit with that. I don't really need to. But then you just take this and you drag it back over to Yabber. And that repacks it. So if I actually go down to C1400 now, it should, yeah, it would have created a .back file. So .back files are just backup files that it makes for you automatically when using Yabber, which is really, really good. So yeah. Can also show off the TPF extraction. So we'll just drag that over. Is that the right one? Did I do the character bin again? I did the character bin again. I did texture bin. There we go. Sorry, it's been a long time trying to record this. Yeah, C1400, and we get TPF. So TPFs, once again, Yabber. Yabber for everything. If in doubt, use Yabber. And yeah, this gets us all the textures, which I can view because I have paint.net, which I highly recommend. And yeah, you can see the Firekeeper's scary stretched face and all that. And yeah, that is the absolute bare basics. And I'm actually now remembering something I should have done. Don't be like me. Don't edit files like that before you do this. So what you want to do is just Control A and then Control C. And then you're going to go to, I guess I can do it from here because I don't need these anymore. Go to D, create a new folder, and I'm just going to name this Tut Backup because it's just for the tutorial. And then you'd right click and you'd paste all that into there and create a backup just somewhere away from your game folder so you have all those files out of the way. So if you somehow lose that .back file or you override the .back file, because it only creates one most recent update to it, so if you want the original version of a file back, then having a backup is really needed. Looking at you, cat, with your Beast Hunter Scythe and your Shotel video, it was But yeah, make sure to create a backup. I have mine here, so I have modding backup, Dark Souls 3. I also have stuff unpacked here, so like SFX, I have all the SFX stuff unpacked because I need it. But yeah. Well, yeah, make sure you create a backup though. And yeah, I think that's actually pretty much everything for the episode today. So I haven't actually gone over to how to get started on making mods. I've gone over mod engine, but we haven't really done any editing. We're just using unpackers, so not much I can really show, unfortunately. It's going to be a pretty boring episode, but this is just the absolute bare minimum on where to get started. Just unpacking your files so you can get started. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been quite long, but I have gone over quite a lot of stuff, so hopefully it's been enjoyable. I think next time I'll probably get into param editing and also mod engine, because we're actually going to start work on a mod. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just change a few params around and see what happens, but we'll figure that out. I'm not just gonna make a mod and release it. I'm just gonna play around. So yeah, next time, params and mod engine to actually start making a mod. So hope you've enjoyed, because I've had fun. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.